everyone, welcome to this edition of Country Cooking. Today we are kind of going to be doing a brunch type thing. We're going to do lemon poppy seed muffins for you. We're going to do omelet muffins, and then we're going to do a white chocolate fruit tart. So it's more like that brunch kind of thing. Unless you'd skip the tart, you could do the muffins and muffin omelets for breakfast, but we'll go with we're going to say it's a brunch. And so first thing we're going to start with is the lemon poppy seed muffins, and you are going to need the ingredients will be posted on Valley's homepage, so make sure you get those off of there. But we're going to start with sugar and lemon zest together in a bowl. So we need to have 3/4 cup of sugar, which I've already measured out to save some time. And then we're going to go ahead and add the zest of 1 lemon, and I did that already too, so that it kind of saves me a little here, and you guys don't need to watch me zest lemon. And we're just going to take this and rub it in the bowl until the sugar is mixed in with it. And then we're going to go ahead and whisk in the flour, which is 2 cups of flour, and I have to grab my whisk. Sorry about that. And, oh, it smells like lemons already. And then we also need to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And, whoops, sorry, 2 teaspoons baking powder. They're confusing me because they're using both baking soda and baking powder in this recipe. So it's 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we've got the baking soda and the baking powder, and then we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we whisk all of this. And then after we get all of our dry ingredients incorporated here, then we're going to go ahead and add the sour cream, which is 1/2 cup. And we also have to add the yogurt, which is 1/4 cup. And this is a vanilla yogurt. Being it's lemon poppy seed, I don't know what it would be like if you would decide to try like a lemon yogurt, but I think we're gonna have enough lemon flavor in here that I would stick to vanilla. And between the sour cream and the yogurt, I'm sure these muffins are gonna be quite moist. And then we need to add the 2 eggs. Our oven's preheated. The vanilla, we need 1 teaspoon. And then we need the juice of 1 lemon. And the way that I always get the juice out of the real lemons is you roll it on your countertop first. And I was prepping last night some of the stuff that I needed, and I found out that you make sure that your lemons don't have a little pinhole in them. When I got done, I had lemon juice shot clear across my kitchen. And I gotta grab one thing here. Okay, and with the lemons, I use the strainer because you don't want your lemon seeds to fall into the mixture here. So once you get it rolled on your countertop and you're gonna squeeze, just squeeze it into the little strainer. Or if you do this ahead of time, you can strain it out. And you notice my zest, it actually came off of a different lemon. So you can get quite a bit of lemon juice out of one lemon. I think it's like a 1/4 cup. So if you don't have a real lemon and you want to use bottle, I would say a 1/4 cup would be pretty close. And we can even actually go ahead and measure this to see how close. Nope, try 1/8 of a cup. So anyway, then you got your lemon. My lemons last night must have been bigger. And then you want to blend all this together along with the half a cup of melted cooled butter. I'm gonna mix this kind of up first, get those eggs in there. And muffins are always got some lumps in them, so you don't want to overbeat your muffins. Just kind of incorporate it so that it's moist. And this is quite thick, which is a good sign. And then since we've got this all incorporated now and it's lumpy, we're going to go ahead and add the 2 tablespoons of poppy seed. And we're going to mix all this up. Many years ago, I used to waitress at a Perkins, and they had lemon poppy seed muffins, and it just sounded disgusting to me until I tried them. And then it's like, oh, those are one of the best muffins I've ever had. So now I'm hoping this recipe is as good and that you guys enjoy it. Like I said, we'll have the recipe on Valley's homepage. You can go on there and get it, and if you like it, it'd be really, really nice if you would call Valley or send them a letter, or even send me a letter and let me know what you think of my recipes. If you have any you want to share, I'd be glad to just do it on the show. Matter of fact, we got a couple today that we are going to be sharing from viewers. So anyway, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to just put these in your muffin papers. You can actually spray your muffin tins if you want with spray. I like the paper because they're easier to get out of the pans that way, and then people can just have their own. They can finger their own. And you want to fill them about 2/3 full. And if one gets a little bigger, then they'll fight over it, who's going to have the big one. I know at the Valley office who's going to go for that one. And I'm going to have to get out a second cupcake pan because this is enough to make closer to 2 dozen. So I will let Valley take you on a break, and I will get my other muffin tin out and get it lined with the papers, and we'll be right back.
Upgrade your internet to a faster speed and receive a Roku 3 or Apple TV box free. Make the most of your high-speed internet and enjoy digital TV and video streaming with your free Roku 3 or Apple TV box. Call Valley today to learn more about this limited time offer.
Okay, we've got these done. I didn't quite get 2 dozen, but we did get 22, so we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes or until golden brown. Okay, so while those are baking, we're gonna go ahead and start with the next item that we're gonna do today. And that is a recipe that Virginia Almond sent in, and it's the white chocolate fruit tart. The recipe calls for a fluted pan, you know, the one that looks like a fancy pie crust with a removable bottom. Well, I don't have one. I don't know how often I'll use one. Maybe this will be so great I'll want to make this quite often, and then I'll wish I would have bought that. Or a pizza pan with sides on it. Well, I didn't have a pizza pan either, because when John and I have our pizzas, we just put the pizza right in the oven on the rack. So I have all that cheese dripping down. But, or if I make homemade, I make it on a rectangular large cookie sheet, because around here, 1 or 2 pieces isn't enough. So we always have a lot. So that's why mine is on a pan that I can get a hold of on a short notice. And I already baked the crust. The crust is 1½ or 3/4 cup butter, softened, a 1/2 cup of confectioner powdered sugar, and 1½ cups of flour. And what I did was I took the butter and the powdered sugar and I blended it well. And once that was blended, then I went ahead and I took and added the flour to it. Got it all mixed up, and I put it on an ungreased baking sheet, the pizza pan. So I don't have as large of an edge as what Virginia's recipe would probably have. And then it says to bake for 25 to 30 minutes until cooled, and then we're gonna start the next part. Well, I wanted to pre-bake it because if I baked it, it's gonna take that long, and then another ½ an hour for it to cool, and then it takes again. So you guys wouldn't get to see us eat any of this and ooh, it's so good or whatever. So I did it this way. I'm gonna take a break for a second while I get the ingredients all together for this and put my other stuff away so I'm not adding the wrong stuff to the recipe, and we'll be right back.
Finally, an easy-to-use touchscreen computer is available now from Valley. Telecom comes with its software fully installed and ready to go right out of the box. Just connect your Telecom to the internet and enjoy the experience. This month, save $50 on the 18.6-inch model, or save $100 on the 20-inch model. Plus, you'll also get a free bundle that includes a touchscreen stylus, a password organizer, and a wireless mouse. You don't want to miss out on this offer from Valley.
Okay, now we're back to the fruit tart, white chocolate fruit tart. The crust is done. Now we're going to go ahead for the filling. We need 1 package of white chocolate chips, melted and cooled. Well, white chocolate they said, but I used the chips. 10 to 12 ounces. And then it says go ahead and put that in a bowl and add the cream. And we're going to add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And we're going to mix these 2 items together. I should have had Virginia come and be guest on the show and cook her recipe. Love to have her. Love to have you guys too. You can definitely see a difference when you start to beat the white chocolate with the cream. It changes colors and texture almost instantly. That's kind of cool. So anyway, do that, and then we're going to beat until smooth, and then we're going to pour this over the crust, and we're going to refrigerate it for a while. It says refrigerate for 30 minutes. So, and I have the fruit already drained. I did it last night so that we don't have all that juice. You want to take and drain a large can of pineapple chunks, but don't drain the juice in the sink. It needs to be, a ½ cup needs to be reserved for the glaze that's going to go over the top of this. So that one you want to keep. And then your mandarin oranges, you can go ahead and drain the juice off of them, or if you've got somebody in your family that likes to drink it, I'm sure they could have a sugar high for a while. And then, yeah, that's what I have there. I didn't do anything with the kiwi yet. They weren't quite ripe, so we're gonna go ahead and peel those, but I did prep most of the other fruit that Virginia had on her recipe here. So we'll just go around the edge with this, and you probably wanna leave a little bit of a border so that, and I'm sure that's why it says a fluted pan or a pizza pan that's got a edge on it, so that you would have more room and the crust would build up along the edge, but mine doesn't, so we're just gonna leave a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch here so when people go to eat it, they can pick it up. And I did call for a 12-inch pizza pan. And we'll spread the center out kind of evenly. And we will go ahead and pop this in the fridge, and then we can start on our next item for this week.
Pick the offer that's right for you with Valley Cellular. Choose either a $100 signing bonus on a 300-minute plan or higher, or free companion lines for 6 months on family plans of 700 minutes or more. Valley Wireless is nationwide cellular service with local customer service. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great offer.
Muffins are done. We didn't get a whole lot done while they baked, and I'm just gonna pull them out right away because if you leave them in the pan, the bottoms are gonna cook a little longer because of the heat. So we're just gonna pull these out, and then we'll move them off to the side while we work on the omelet muffins. All right, they look really good. They're nice and golden brown. They smell yummy. We're gonna add a lemon glaze to them after a bit, when they're cooled down a bit after we get our other stuff going. So we'll just move these off to the side. And we'll move these off to this side. And the next thing we're going to do is a recipe sent in from Wanda Junt of Eureka. They are called omelet muffins. And it calls for 4 large eggs plus 1.5 cups of liquid egg substitute, or as many eggs to bring it up to 1.5 cups. And I don't use the substitutes, so I'm going to use real eggs. And it takes about 10 eggs to do this recipe. So we'll go ahead and put the 10 eggs in the dish. And I pre-sprayed my pan with cooking spray because you want to make sure that they pop out okay. And I don't know how well an egg muffin would be in a cupcake liner unless you have those tinfoil ones. And I don't have those, so we'll just put it in there. So we've got our eggs, and then it calls for 4 ounces of diced ham, which is 1/2 cup. I'm gonna go ahead and mix the eggs up before I start adding the ingredients so that we make sure that all the yolks get incorporated with the whites and stuff, and then we'll add all our goodies. Okay. So we got the eggs there. Then we're gonna go ahead and add the 1/2 cup of diced ham. 8 ounces is a cup, 4 ounces would be 1/2 cup. And then her recipe calls for 1 cup of corn, 3 green onions sliced thinly, 3 ounces of feta cheese crumbled, and then salt and pepper. And it says stir all ingredients and combine well. Ladle egg mixture into 12 muffin tins. Bake at 375 for 20 to 25 minutes until the tops are puffed and golden and the eggs are set all the way through. Cool slightly, run a knife around, and then remove. Serve or store up to 3 days in the fridge. And then she also has a note on there that you can add mushrooms, steamed broccoli, roasted peppers, different cheese, if you don't like feta cheese, and other seasonings can be added. Well, we're gonna kind of keep this sort of towards Wanda's recipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the ham, and I got the sliced onions, green onions. I did 3 of them. And then we're gonna go ahead and add green pepper, and I didn't roast it. This was actually, I freeze pepper when I don't use it all, so it's soft from being in the freezer, and it's gonna bake, so we're gonna go ahead and add green pepper. And this is almost like a Western omelet. And then mushrooms, I drained them, and then I kind of chopped them up a little bit more because some people may not like to have that huge chunk of mushroom popping out at them. When I worked at the school, we used to puree things so the kids couldn't see it, because if they saw something they didn't like, they wouldn't eat it. Well, if they don't see it, they don't know what's in there and they eat it. So, and then I bought crumbled feta already, so I don't even have to crumble it. I'm sure a lot of people will probably go with the mild cheddar on this because a lot of people like cheddar cheese with their eggs, but we're gonna try this. It's her recipe, we're gonna go ahead and do it. So this is actually a 4-ounce thing, but I don't know what I would do with 1 ounce of leftover cheese, so we're just gonna dump the whole thing in there. Then again, you turn around and mix all this up. And it's getting nice and thick. Oh, I forgot the broccoli. You could put asparagus in there too, if you like asparagus. My husband loves it, but I decided we won't go quite that far. And I'm just gonna use the tops of the broccoli, the flowerette parts, because the base of them sometimes are a little harder. I don't want anything too much in there to have people wonder what they're biting on. That's my opinion. I normally eat the tops off anyway, kind of like kid. You have red peppers, you could add that. You want to give it some kick, you could probably add jalapeno peppers to it. And then you could have salsa sitting on the side, and they could make it into like a Mexican brunch. You can, I think this recipe that Wanda sent in can be pretty versatile to whatever you want your brunch to be like. And we'll call that good. So now we have a good amount of vegetables in with our ham and egg and cheese. So this is what it looks like. And then we're just gonna go ahead and ladle it into the muffin tins. And we'll see if I have to grab a ladle. Let's see if I can get all of it in 12 tins or if we're gonna have to redo again. How full does it say to do this? It doesn't. So we're gonna wing this. Wanda, I wish you were here to help me do these so I knew how full I should be making my omelets. Again, all these recipes will be on Valley's homepage. If you don't have access to the internet and you want the recipes, you can call the office at 437-2615 and just ask one of the girls if they could get a message to Lisa or Kelly, or maybe they too would do it, I don't know, and get you the recipes for what we're cooking on the Country Cooking Show. Yep, we're gonna get 12 out of here, and I'm hoping that they don't overflow in the oven. 375-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. We're going to start the timer at 20, just because I've never done this before, to see what it's going to come to. So now while those are in there cooking, I will clean up my mess here for a little bit, take a break. Valley will show you a commercial. This would be a good time to sit down and find recipes you want to share with Country Cooking, so that I have some ideas to cook with. I have a few more in my little folder, but I like them. Keep sending them in. We appreciate it, and I'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
This is the team you want on your side,
Taking you to the future with hometown pride.
broadband, TV, phone services too.
Bringing the latest technology home to you. Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
For those of you participating in Valley's Facebook scavenger hunt, approximately how many hours of standard definition recording does your DVR from Valley hold? The answer is actually approximately 100 hours. So there's your answer. And now that we've got that done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the rest of the white chocolate fruit tart together. We've got our sliced kiwis, and I prepped a lot of this to save time because it takes a lot of time. We record in a certain amount of time, so I've tried to save time so it didn't take us forever. I mean, I like Lisa, but I don't think I want Lisa to spend the night with me for the next couple of nights. So anyway, I'm gonna move this one back, and we're gonna go ahead and start here then. And what it says is, drain your pineapple, reserving a half a cup of juice. Arrange pineapple, strawberry, oranges, and kiwi over the filling. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And you can put this on however you would like, just to give it color. And the picture actually showed the oranges and the strawberries around the edge. So we're gonna go ahead and try to do it as close to what the picture looks like as possible. And you can slice your strawberries however you want. Maybe you want to quarter them instead of the thin slices. It looks like a good summer recipe is what it looks like. On those warm days when they come in the house, they can open up the fridge and go ahead and pull out a piece of this white chocolate tart. And I'm sure if Virginia was here, she'd probably be doing extremely well and have this. She's probably made it a lot of times and knew exactly what she's doing, and it'll probably look a lot better. So maybe she should make one. And this recipe came through on Facebook, so she could make one and take a picture of it and put it on Facebook on the Valley page, and then they could share it with me, and then we could share it with all of our viewers that do like Valley on their Facebook page. Social media, it's getting to be so much out there that everybody's using it these days. Okay, so we got the outside. Now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add some pineapple chunks up here. I think I want to kind of mix them because then that way everybody gets a little bit of the fruit. It probably won't look as pretty, but now if my kids were here, they would be picking out the stuff that they don't like and moving it to a different part. You could probably add grapes to this. You know, we're doing kiwi because of the color, I'm sure. You could add green grapes and purple grapes. You could add fresh blueberries or red raspberries, blackberries. You know, it's just a white chocolate fruit tart. So we would go ahead and add a couple more here. Then we're going to add some kiwi. Whoops. And then after we get all the fruit laid on here, we actually have to make a glaze that gets drizzled over the top, and that's why you saved your half a cup of lemon juice, is to make this glaze. Add some more strawberries to the center. Push that out a bit. We got a lot of fruit here we can use up. And then we'll go ahead and add some more pineapple. A little bit more orange in the center. Could actually add a little orange over here too. We'll try to use up as much of this as we can. And then we'll just take my slices that didn't fall apart yet, and we'll add that to the top. Give it some decoration. Maybe we'll just fan it on the top. Point, okay. Now we will go ahead and mix up the glaze. And for the glaze, you need 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and a half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And, well, of course I saved. And your pineapple juice. I think that forgot to be put on there because you need to have your juice. So we are going to add a half a teaspoon of lemon juice to that. Okay, our muffin omelets are done. They look good. They don't over puff up and run over the edge of a pan like cupcakes do, so you can fill them pretty full when you do make them. We'll let them sit there and cool for a couple minutes while we get this glaze ready.
Keep up to date with all the latest news and offers from Valley and get in on some fun contests and giveaways. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook.
For the glaze to go over the top of the fruit pizza, we're going to go ahead and mix the 3 tablespoons of sugar. And we have 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And I'm actually using a half a teaspoon, so you will see me count 4. And we need the pineapple juice, the half a cup of pineapple juice that was reserved from draining your pineapple, and a half a teaspoon of lemon juice. So we're going to put all this together, and we're just going to sit here and stir it and incorporate it until it starts to thicken. And then it says to cook and stir for 2 minutes or until thickened. So we'll see how long it takes for this to come up since the juices were both in the fridge. If you were doing it with your lemon right off of the cupboard, it wouldn't take as long because then it's at room temperature, but this is all chilled, so. After this episode and you guys try all these recipes, you're going to be walking around looking like a goldfish because you're going to be puckering from all the lemon that we're using in this episode this week. We will be doing another show here soon, and I have a guest going to come in and help me, and of course you all know who it is. It's George. You'll see he enjoys doing this. It's not hard, it's fun, it's a good time. So if George is going to be my guest again, I think this will be the 3rd or 4th time. So it's easy. He comes from Hosmer, takes a day off from the bank and stuff to come cook with me because we have such a good time. So really, if you have a recipe, a family one that you want to share with somebody on Facebook, you don't even know the camera's there. You just, I'll talk. I mean, you know me, I like to talk. I can talk and you totally forget that somebody's standing there. But please, share your recipes with us. Mail them into the office. Do it via Facebook. Email them, whatever you want to do. We'd love to have them. It's nice to have other people, our viewers and stuff that want to share some of their stuff, even if they don't want to share their face on TV with us. We'd still like to have your recipes. Yeah, so now I just got to stand here and cook this. Okay, our glaze has gotten thick. We're going to go ahead now and just let it cool, I think we need to let this cool, because I would think that if we pour it on the fresh fruit, it's not gonna like that. That'd be like somebody laying out in the sun. Yeah, it says cool, so we're gonna have to cool this. But while this is cooling, we'll go ahead and we'll get the omelet muffins out of the pan. We'll get our lemon poppy seed muffins over. We'll get plated up so you guys can see what we have done on this episode today. I'm gonna pop this in the freezer just for a couple of minutes to help cool it down quicker. I'll be right back. Beans, we're waiting for that stuff to chill. We also have to get our glaze for our lemon poppy seed muffins done. And that's really quite simple. It's 1 cup of powdered sugar. And you got the 1 teaspoon of lemon or vanilla extract. And of course, I'm gonna go with lemon. And I'm using pure extract, so we are only gonna do a little over 1/2 of a teaspoon because the pure is always richer or stronger than your imitation. And then we've got 2 tablespoons of milk. And we're just gonna incorporate it like this. Get it all mixed in till it's smooth. You don't want any lumps of powdered sugar in your glaze. Oh, those omelets smell wonderful. That looks to be pretty good. We'll bring our muffins back over. And we're just gonna go ahead and take a tablespoon and start drizzling. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit to give it a little extra kick on the top. Gives it a little bit of a different look, more dressed up. And if you want, you can even do it this way. That one got a big chunk, so that's why I'm spreading it around. Easier way would be just to take the bowl and pour it over the top if you had a cookie sheet underneath to catch all that's going to drip on your countertop. Another way you could do it is if your muffins were all big enough over the top of your papers, which mine aren't. I never know how much batter to put in. I'm always afraid they're gonna go over the top and then they're gonna hang down, so then you look more like a mushroom than a muffin. But if they're high enough above your muffin or your papers, you can actually just dip your tops in the icing. We'll just finish off a little bit more of this. More calories for all of us. We'll call that, let's do this one. Okay, we'll call that good. All right, so we got our muffins. Lemon poppy seed muffins are totally done. They're ready to be served. We'll get those on the plate. We have our omelet muffins that the recipe was shared by Wanda Junt from Eureka. And then we got our white chocolate fruit tart, which in a minute we'll glaze that. But I'm being there's a set here, I'm gonna go ahead and take a knife. You wanna take a knife, use this flat edge, you don't wanna cut your pan, and just go around to loosen them. They've already been sprayed, so they should release pretty easy. But in case they don't, you don't want half the muffin to be sticking in the pan when you go to flip it out. I should ask Wanda if she puts hers in liners or if she just leaves it right in the pan. Well, this takes a few minutes. Kind of like running the edge around a cheesecake or an angel food cake before you pop it out of a pan. You want to make sure that it's released enough where you can do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a cookie sheet and I'm going to do like when I decorate cakes. I'm going to put it like this and just flip it on over and hope that they release. They're not releasing very nicely. And I had them sprayed, so I don't know what to tell you guys. See, that's why, Wanda, you should have been here to help me today. We'll just kind of keep prying at it. This one will be mine because I wrecked it. I have to try them. You know, if you cook it, you gotta taste it. Now that we've got them all cut, we're gonna go ahead and flip it out. And you hit it harder than you hit a baby when you're burping a baby. It might be when you hit it like when your husband embarrasses you in public. Hit him a little harder than you would a baby when you're burping a baby. There we go. They did stick a bit, so if yours sticks, don't worry about it. But here we have our omelet muffins. We'll put those on a plate here soon. They are a nice golden brown on the bottom side. And now we're gonna go ahead and drizzle the glaze over the top of our fruit tart. Okay, and then just go ahead and take your pan and start to do a light drizzle. Okay, we've got Virginia almonds, white chocolate fruit tart. We got our muffin omelets, and we've got our lemon poppy seed omelets. So we're ready for a nice brunch. Maybe it's Father's Day, maybe you're going camping over the 4th of July and you want to take this out to the river or wherever you're camping, you can do that. All of these would travel pretty easy, I think, and you could do the pizza or the fruit tart the day before, or whatever, or have all your fruit cut and your pastry already made and just keep it in the refrigerator. So we'll go ahead and give this a cut now. So here's our breakfast brunch. We've got the omelet muffins that was shared by Wanda Gent of Eureka. Thank you, Wanda. We've got the white chocolate fruit tart from Virginia Almond from Hosmer. Thank you, Virginia. And the lemon poppy seed muffins, which I decided I just wanted to make to go with it so that we had something different. So hope you enjoyed our show. Come back and check us out next episode. Like I said, I'm going to have a guest on here. He's a return. If I ever end up really sick, I know who I can call to do my show while I'm recuperating. So George will be with me next week. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.